Shri Jagadambaye Namaha, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. In yesterday's shloka, we saw how the Devas and Asuras equally revere the glorious feet of Divine Mother. This brings me to one of the slokas in Saundarya Lahari by Shankaracharya. As it is titled, Saundarya Lahari dedicates slokas to honor and admire each and every part of the Divine Mother's body. It celebrates her cosmic beauty. And in the sloka, Taniyamsum Pamsum Tava Charana Pankeruha Bhavam Vedinchi Sanjeevan Vidachayati Lokan Avikalam Vahatyenam Shauri Katamapi Sahasrena Shirasam Haraha Samkshatyenam Bhajati Bhajito Dhulana with him. This sloka particularly explains the glory of the dust of her feet. When we look at the images of Sri Tripura Sundari or Lalita Devi, we see that only one leg is put down and there is this toe of that foot that touches the ground. She doesn't have the Abhayam and the Varadham because she has Pasham, Ankusham, and then she has a parrot and then a sugarcane bow. So then we would think, okay, why doesn't she have the Abhayam and the Varadham? Doesn't she bless us? The answer is the toe of her foot alone is enough. It's this toe that is the tip of this universe, of this creation and the cosmos. Which is why in most of the Shaktic texts, it says that we just have to surrender ourselves to the divine feet of the Mother. If we are able to do the Sharanagati to her feet, that itself will bring all the glory, knowledge to us, and she will bless us. Just hold tightly to her feet, even if you are not able to imagine her wholly or fully. And in this sloka, Shankaracharya says, the dust alone from her feet, from the speck of dust, Brahma created the universe, the cosmos, and this dust also gave the power to Vishnu to sustain the universe, and Lord Shiva destroys this world back into the dust. So the speck of dust from her feet then decides or runs the process of creation and destruction. So that is the glory of her feet. Coming back to the slokam in Argala Stotra, Vidyavantam Yashasvantam Lakshmivantam Janam Kuru. So we said, right, the dust of her feet gives the knowledge, and it is the cause of creation. So when the Devas and the Asuras equally revere her feet, it means that she is the ultimate source of energy and that of knowledge. So we request her to bless us with the wisdom and the richness. So richness doesn't mean that it always have always has to be the wealth or money as we would see it in tangible terms, but it is the wealth of our mind, the spiritual wealth or the spiritual dhanam that we are able to procure that will propel our spiritual journey. Okay, having said that, she would also bless us with the materialistic pleasures, which is why we said that the importance of Shaktic texts is that it gives us dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. It helps us in fulfilling all the purusharthas as it fulfills our desires and provides us the stage of saturation and takes us upward, levitate us towards her. Prachanda Daitya Darpagne Chandige Pranatayame. Prachanda Daitya Darpagne. So she is the one who has destroyed the pride of the demons. And let us seek her blessings. Now we said that when we talk about the demons, it doesn't mean that it always has to be an external demon, but it is the internal one, the pride, jealousy, hatred, anger, and all the negative emotions that we have within us. It has to be destroyed. Chaturbhuje Chadurvaktra Samsude Parameshwari. She is the one with 4 hands. So we saw that in Lalita Devi's hand, we have the Pasham, Ankusham, the parrot, and the sugarcane bow. So the sugarcane bow and the parrot, or we also see that she also has the Panchabanams in her hand. So the Panchabanam represents the 5 senses. So she is in control of these 5 senses. And with this, she would keep our mind at bay. That would often run after the materialistic pleasures and gains. So with her 4 hands, let her control me and endow me with all the purusharthas, again the symbolism of 4, and let her make me complete. So when we say that artha or kama is also important, there is a point in this. If we have an unsatisfied life, we cannot go forth towards moksha. There are 2 ways to attain the moksha. One, we have to be completely detached. That is not that easy. Being amidst all the materialistic pleasures and staying away from it, just like King Janaka, it's not that easy. And the second option is, if we have tasted everything in our life and our senses are satisfied, that is much more easy path for us, because we have enjoyed the world as it is, and then there is a sort of restrainment that we can bring in, because we can understand that what these things are. We know what they are, and now the time has come to restrain. So, which is why, because we also have to note that a person who is poor, always his or her prayers would be to bless him or her with the money, to improve his financial situations, to give him the pleasure, and so on. That is the case for everything, all the afflictions that we have. If a person is always uh, unhealthy, then the prayers would always be to keep him healthy, keep him away from all the diseases. So then, there we stand at the mundane plane. So, the fulfillment of all our desires is equally important to move towards the path of bhakti and complete surrender, because then we won't have an iota of doubt within us, because we have experienced everything. We know what things are, and then it becomes easy for us to get detached. Only few saints or people like Tukaram and others can be detached from all the pleasures. Not everyone can do that. So, in a way, when we say that Devi as such gives us the artha, kama, and moksha, it means that through the fulfillment of our desires, by saturating our desires, she brings us to the path of moksha. Krishnena samsute Devi Shashwat Bhaktya Satambike. So she is the one who is revered by Lord Krishna. So this reference comes in Devi Bhagavata Puranam too. There are two instances which says how Krishna would be indebted to the Divine Mother. One, as none of the children of Vasudeva and Devaki are able to survive, then they pray and they say that only the Divine Mother's blessings would help in the birth of Lord Krishna, which is why you have the Yoga Maya or Jagadamba herself coming to the prison where Vasudeva and Devaki were there, and she ensures that Krishna reaches Vrindavan and the purpose of his avatar is fulfilled. So she is that cause. And the second one is that when Krishna goes in search of the Semantaka money, that was Satrajit's, and his brother gets killed and Krishna is being accused. It takes days for Krishna to get the Semantaka money, and he is in fight with Jambavan. So here, Vasudeva begins the Parayanam of Devi Bhagavata Puranam as advised by Narada Muni. And it is at the end of this Navaham, the 9-day Parayanam, Jambavan is finally able to recollect that who Krishna is. He is in fact Lord Rama's next avatar. And then the fight comes to an end and Krishna is able to come back. So in this way, we can say that she is the one who is revered by Krishna. We also saw how her test is equally important for Brahma to create, for Vishnu to sustain, and for Shiva to destroy. So in that way, she is that supreme being who is equally revered by Hari, Hara, and the Brahma. Shri Jagadambaye Namaha.